And so science has spoken. Lugaw is essential. It is a low-cost filling dish filled with essential nutrients that comforts as it fills our tummies. Hello science fans, and welcome to SHE-ensya's Corner. Here, we kick back, relax, and talk about science events that are exciting, scary, or fun for your resident Filipina scientist. It's April 3, science fans. I am Chana Camille Vinci Cruz Abeledo, your resident Filipina scientist, and welcome to episode 19 of SHE-ensya's Corner. So for this week in quarantine, Filipino netizens were in an uproar because one of our staple dishes was demoted as non-essential.
What?
You see, the NCR Plus bubble was gearing up for a quiet Holy Week as another extreme community quarantine was imposed due to rising COVID-19 cases. This type of lockdown is the strictest imposed in the Philippines, with curfew hours between 5 p.m. and 6 a.m. the next day. But netizens went crazy when a viral video was posted showing a female barangay personnel in Bulacan barring a delivery rider from picking up an order of lugaw, supposedly due to curfew hours. Apart from the condescending attitude of the official towards the delivery rider, what irked netizens was the insistence that lugaw was not essential because people can live without it. Pero ano nga ba ang meron sa lugaw? Can we truly live without it? Or is it an essential Filipino dish? Now, lugaw is the umbrella term for most rice porridge-style dishes in the Philippines. In essence, lugaw is glutinous rice cooked in water until it disintegrates into this rich, thick consistency. The rice used for lugaw is a special type of glutinous rice, locally called as malagkit, within the species of Oryza sativa glutinosa. And here in the Philippines, we mostly use the rice variety called NSIC RC13 or Malagkit 1, which is the first glutinous rice variety released by the National Seed Industry Council in 1985. As a rice variety, Malagkit 1 has uniformly opaque grains and a slightly lower amylose content, which is a type of sugar. It even has a relatively higher yield compared to other varieties, especially during the dry season, as it matures between 118 to 120 days and reaches an average height between 86 to 92 centimeters. Now, the most basic lugaw is simply flavored with patis or fish sauce and a little ginger. It can be garnished with a sprinkle of spring onions and toasted garlic bits, seasoned with a little bit of calamansi, and also served with a hard-boiled egg. And then there is also arroz caldo, translated from Spanish as hot rice broth. What makes it different from our basic lugaw is the use of chicken broth and chicken meat to enhance the flavor of the dish. Often, it would also have a pinch of saffron that colors it to a beautiful yellow. Kasubha is our local version of the pricey saffron, which makes it easier and cheaper to replicate the yellow hue that arroz caldo is known for. Kasubha looks like saffron. It even does what saffron does. But kasubha is not saffron. Saffron comes from the plant Saffron crocus, while kasubha is from the plant Carthamus tinctus, which is commonly known as safflower, because of its similarity to saffron. Now back to lugaw, and my favorite version, which is GOTO. The actual translation of GOTO is tripe, which refers to the meat used to flavor it, which is ox tripe. Ox tripe is the honeycomb textured part of the beef found in the stomach. It is located in the second out of the 4 compartments of a cow's stomach, and this compartment is called the reticulum. The 4 compartments of the cow's stomach work together to digest the cow's plant-based diet. And the reticulum, where we get our honeycomb tripe, functions to transfer partially digested food to the 3rd compartment. The meticulous cleaning and preparation of ox tripe is what truly makes this variation special. And from these three basic recipes, we also get our regional specialties, such as the Batangas GOTO, the Bagnet Lugaw, the Adobo Lugaw, and so much more. But what makes lugaw truly essential? Science fact. A typical serving of lugaw contains about 11 grams of carbohydrates, which is about 2% of a person's needed calorie intake per day. Contrary to what most diet fads would tell you, carbohydrates are important because they provide fuel to allow your cells to function. No other molecule can be as easily processed by our cells to create ATP, the molecule that powers all of our cells and makes sure they function. The process of converting carbohydrates into ATP is facilitated by the mitochondria, a very important organelle present in our cells. A serving of lugaw also contains 0.5 grams of dietary fiber, and this is also about 2% of our daily needed intake. But did you know that dietary fiber is also a type of carbohydrate? But it is in a form that we cannot fully digest. Dietary fiber can be made up of the carbohydrate called cellulose. And we are unable to digest cellulose fully because we lack the enzymes to break down the complex chemical bonds between their building blocks. But despite this, dietary fiber is still very important because it is responsible for cleaning up the gunk in our intestinal tract. Now, lugaw can also supply 20% of our daily need for iron. And iron is an essential element for blood production. About 70% of your body's iron is found in the red blood cells of your blood called hemoglobin, and in muscle cells called myoglobin. So iron is extremely important as it makes sure that your blood can efficiently transfer oxygen from your lungs to the different parts of your body, and of course also in flexing your muscles. And speaking of muscles, a serving of lugaw usually contains 1.4 grams of proteins, also about 2% of our daily needs. And protein is the building block of our muscles, as well as different enzymes and hormones that allow our bodies to function efficiently. Lugaw also contains about 8% of our daily need for calcium. And the body needs calcium to maintain strong bones and carry out many important functions. Almost all calcium is stored in bones and teeth, where it supports their structure and hardness. But the body also needs calcium for muscles to move and for nerves to transmit messages from the brain to our different body parts. Of course, some can argue that we can also get these nutrients from other sources, but lugaw is such an affordable and comforting option. As food goes, it's like a warm hug that comforts you on a bad day and helps cheer you up. So it's such a sad, sad world where lugaw is considered non-essential. And that's it for SHE-ensya's Corner this week. For more updates about the goings-on in SHE-ensya and your resident Filipino scientist, please follow SHE-ensya on Facebook and on Instagram. You can also drop by our website at www.sheensya.com. You can also follow my personal IG account at shona.abeledo. I hope you were able to enjoy and learn something from our short and savory episode this week. If you did, I hope you can give this video a thumbs up and also subscribe to our channel. If you have any comments, questions, or suggestions, please don't hesitate to message me, your resident Filipino scientist, in the comments section below. Thank you very much and see you around!